Listening. Recalling crew. Returning to base. Awaiting instructions.
Ready. Understood. Task completed.
Returning to base.
Heading to the operational area.
An emergency has been completed.
On the move.
On the move. On the scene.
Heading to operational area. Awaiting instructions. Under fire. Got it.
Waiting instructions.
Under fire.
Will do. Listening. Understood. Ready. Got it.
Listen.
Ready. Will do. Waiting instructions. Understood. Ready. Got it.
On the move. Task completed.
Waiting instructions. Vehicle on the move.
Arrived at destination.
Destination confirmed.
Returning to base. Listening. Returning to vehicle. Awaiting returning to vehicle.
Entering vehicle. Returning to vehicle. Entering vehicle. Entering danger zone.
One of your units requires...
Heading to operational area.
Heading to operational area.
Listening. Heading to operational area.
Awaiting. Returning to base. Ready.
Listening. Returning to base.
Arrived at destination. Listening.
Arrived at destination. Ready.
Listening. Understood.
Ready. Got it. Heading to operational area. Heading to operational area. On the scene. Will do. Arrived at destination. On the scene. Awaiting instructions.
On the move. Listening. On the scene. Awaiting instructions. Will do. Completed.
New orders received.
Waiting. Returning to vehicle.
Ready. Returning to vehicle.
Awaiting instructions. Returning to base.
Returning to base. Returning to base.
Returning to base.
Task completed.
Ready.
New orders received.
Ready. Entering vehicle.
Heading to operational
Ready.
area.
Will do.
Listen. Returning to base.
On the move.
Heading to operational area. On the scene. On the move.
Heading to operational area.
Task completed.
Listening. Heading to the operational area.
Ready.
Understood. On the scene. Ready.
Listening.
On the scene.
Ready. Returning to base.
Arrived at destination.
Got it.
I'm under attack.
Ready.
Will do.
emergency has been completed.
Taking damage. Heading to the operational area. Heading to operational area.
On the move.
Arrived at destination. Listening.
Got it.
Unable to comply. Waiting.
Ready. Understood.
Ready.
Ready. I'm under attack. I'm up. Will do. Arrived at destination. Awaiting. Got it. Will do. Awaiting instructions. On the move. Listening.
Ready.
Got it. Task completed.
Ready.
Listening.
Ready.
Returning to vehicle. Listening. Understood.
Vehicle on the move. Moving out.
Returning to base. Returning to base.
Destination confirmed. Listening. Unable to comply.
Ready.
Awaiting instructions. Vehicle on the move. Crew, return. Returning to base. Listen, moving out. Recalling crew.
Entering vehicle.
Await. Returning to base.
Returning to base.
Returning to base.
Awaiting instruction. Crew, return. Returning to base.
On the move.
An emergency has been completed.
On the move.
Awaiting instructions.
Task completed. Arrived at destination. Task completed. Task completed.
Listening. Returning to base. Heading to the operational area.
Listening. Returning to vehicle.
Arrived at destination.
Awaiting understood.
Ready. Will do. Task completed.
Heading to awaiting returning to base. On
Waiting. Got it.
Listen, returning to base.
ready. Returning to vehicle.
Task completed.
Awaiting instruction. Got it.
New orders received.
Will do. Will do.
Task completed.
Heading to operational area.
Task completed.
On the move. Waiting instructions. On the scene. Arrived at destination. instructions. Understood. Ready.
Ready. Returning to vehicle.
Returning to base. Task completed.
An emergency has been completed.
Ready. Returning to base.
Listen, returning to base. Listen, understood. Awaiting instruction. Will do.
An emergency has been completed.
Arrived at destination. Heading to operational area. Heading to the operational area.
Heading to operational area.
On the scene. On the scene. Ready. Moving out.
Ready. Ready. Got it.
Listening.
Arrived at destination.
Ready. Task completed. Awaiting returning to base. Ready. Returning to base.
Awaiting instruction. Got it. Awaiting instruction. Task completed. Task completed.
On the move. Understood. Arrived at destination. Heading to operational area. On the move. Destination confirmed. Will do.
Awaiting instruction.
On the move. Arrived at destination. Listening. Ready. Got it. Ready. Understood. Task completed. Awaiting instructions.
Task completed.
Returning to base. On the scene.
Listening.
Heading to operational area.
Task. Understood.
On waiting.
Awaiting instruction. Got it.
Task.
Will do. Returning to awaiting.
Listening.
To base.
Will do. To base.
Taking damage. On the move.
Ready.
Awaiting instructions. Arrived at destination.
Ready. Task completed.
Ready. To operational area. Returning to vehicle. On the scene.
Awaiting instructions. Got it. Listening. Returning to vehicle. Task complete.
Listening.
Awaiting instructions. Will do. Task completed.
Task completed.
Ready. Returning to base.
Instructions. Entering vehicle. Listening.
Awaiting instructions. Will do.
Listening. Heading to operational area. To vehicle.
Awaiting instruction. Returning to base. Returning to base.
Task completed.
Arrived at destination. Returning to base. Task completed.
New orders received.
Awaiting instructions.
Listening. Returning to vehicle. Entering vehicle.
Ready. Will do. Listening. Returning to base.
Ready.
Awaiting instructions. Entering vehicle.
Unable to comply. Heading to operational area.
Heading to operational area.
An emergency has been completed.
Taking damage. Listening. On the scene.
On the scene. Heading to operational area. Heading to the
Awaiting instructions. Returning to base.
taking damage. On the scene. On the scene.
Vehicle on the move. I'm under...
Awaiting instructions. Listening. Destination confirmed. Arrived at destination.
I'm taking damage. Arrived at the...
Understood. Taking damage. On the scene. On the move. On the...
Listening.
Listening. Heading to operational area. Listening. Understood.
New orders received.
On listening. Returning to base.
Ready. Task completed.
Wind direction change, north.
Heading to the operation. Awaiting. Returning to base. Route to destination. Awaiting instructions. Unable to comply. Heading to operational area. Task complete. Ready. Destination confirmed. Returning to base. Returning to base. Arrived at destination. Ready. Will do. Awaiting. Understood.
Will do.
Task completed. Waiting. Got it. Arrived at destination. Listening. Returning to base. Listening. Returning to base. On the move.
Listening.
Task on the move. Ready. Will do. Awaiting instructions. Got it. What?
Awaiting instructions. Can't do that.
On the scene. Heading to operational area. On the move.
Awaiting instructions.
On the scene.
Unable to...
Awaiting instruction.
Listening. Taking damage.
Arrived at destination. Task completed.
Ready. Returning to vehicle.
New orders received.
Returning to base. Returning to base.
Listening. Crew return. Understood. Task completed. Task completed. Ready. Returning to base. Ready. Returning to base. Heading to operational area.
Returning to base.
Ready. Returning to vehicle. On the move. On the scene.
An emergency has been completed.
Ready.
Listening. Listening.
On the move.
Taking damage.
On the move.
Arrived at destination. Ready. Moving out.
On the scene. On the scene. Taking damage. On the scene. Listening. Vehicle on the move. Waiting. Will do. Understood.
Task completed. Awaiting instructions.
Waiting instructions.
Understood. Listening.
Listening.
Task completed.
Ready. Vehicle on the move.
Ready.
An emergency has been completed.
Returning to base.
New orders received.
Arrived at destination.
Listening. Returning to base. Returning to base. Waiting instruction. Listening. Returning to vehicle. Returning to vehicle. Waiting instruction. Entering vehicle.
Awaiting instruction.
Returning to base.
Returning to base.
Heading to operational area.
Heading to operational area.
On the move. Heading to operational area. Taking damage.
Awaiting instructions.
Arrived at destination.
Arrived at
Heading to listening. Will do. Taking damage. Ready. Task completed. On the scene. Ready. Got it. Task completed. Listening.
listening. Returning to base.
Awaiting instruction.
Heading to operational
Understood.
area. Task completed.
New orders received.
Awaiting entering vehicle.
Wind direction change. West.
Moving out. Moving out. Task completed. Arrived at destination. Will do. Will do. Listening. On the scene. Returning to base. Listening. Returning to base. Returning to base. Arrived at destination. Task completed. On the move. Task completed.
Awaiting instruction. Got it. On the move.
Heading to operational area. Heading to the operational area.
Listening. Returning to base.
On the move. Arrived at destination. Awaiting instructions. Ready. Ready. Vehicle on the move. On the scene. Arrived. Got it.
Ready. Understood. Awaiting.
Listening.
Listening.
Understood.
Listening. Returning to base. Returning to base.
Will do.
Task completed.
Heading to operational area.
Task completed.
Arrived at destination.
Ready. Returning to base.
Listening. Returning to base.
Task completed. Listening.
Can't do that.
Got it. Ready. Understood.
Task completed.
New orders received.
I can't do that.
To operation.
Awaiting entering vehicle.
Returning to base. Arrived at destination. Ready.
An emergency has been completed.
Listening.
One of your units requires medical attention.
Heading to operational area. Ready. On the move. Will do. On the scene.
Listening. Understood. Ready. Heading to operational area. Task completed.
Wind direction change. East.
Awaiting instructions. Returning to
Arrived at destination. Listening.
Listening. Awaiting. Understood. Awaiting instructions. Ready.
Ready. Instruction. Entering vehicle. Awaiting instructions. Moving out.
Ready.
Listening.
Listening.
Returning to vehicle.
Returning to vehicle.
Awaiting instructions. Returning to base. Ready. Returning to base. Listening. Ready. Crew still in action. Entering vehicle. Heading to operational area.
Ready. Awaiting instructions. Will do. Entering vehicle.
Returning to pick.
Returning to base.
An emergency has been
Operational
completed.
area.
Arrived at destination.
Arrived at destination. Task completed.
Awaiting instructions. Got it.
Awaiting it. Understood.
Task completed. Ready. Returning to vehicle. Entering vehicle.
Task completed.
Awaiting instructions. Understood. Task.
Ready. Will do.
Listening. Returning to vehicle. Entering vehicle. Returning to vehicle. Task completed.
Listening. Returning to base. Awaiting instructions. Understood. Heading to operational area.
Listening. Got it.
Ready.
Task completed.
Task completed.
New orders received.
Listen. Returning to base. Listening. Returning to vehicle. Heading to operational area.
Waiting. Returning to base.
Listening. Got it.
On the move.
Wind direction change, north.
Task complete. Moving out.
Understood. On the scene. On the scene.
Awaiting. Returning to base.
An emergency has been completed.
Returning to vehicle. Ready. Task completed. Ready. Understood.
Heading to operational area.
Listening. Returning to base.
On the scene. Listen.
Awaiting instruct. Got it. Heading to operational area. On the...
Ready. Got it.
Ready. Listening. Crew, return. Recalling.
Crew return. Recalling crew. Crew return.
Crew, return. Recalling crew. Crew, return. Recalling crew.
Listen. Will do. Listening. Recalling crew. Returning to base. Task completed. Ready. Understood. Heading to operational area.
Awaiting instructions. Returning to base. Ready. Returning to base.
Arrived at destination. Listening.
Ready. Understood.
On the move.
Ready. Will do.
Task completed.
Heading to operational area.
On.
Awaiting instructions. Entering vehicle. Listening. Returning to base. On the scene. Can't do that.
Listening. Understood.
Listening. Returning to base.
Task completed. Ready.
Task completed.
Listening. Returning to vehicle. Heading to operational area. On the move.
Ready. Returning to base.
Ready. Returning to base.
Listening. Got it.
List.
Ready. Will do. Task completed. Understood.
Ready. Returning to base.
Task completed.
Awaiting instructions. Crew return. Recalling crew. Awaiting. Returning to base. Listen. Returning to base.
An emergency has been completed.
Heading to operational area.
Heading to the operational area.
On the move. On the sync. Waiting. Got it.
On. Ready. Understood.
Alright. Listen. Moving out. Will do.
Task completed.
Heading to operational area.
Heading to operational area.
On the sync. Awaiting instruction. Understood.
On the... Listening.
Listening. Got it. Listening. Will do. Task completed. Ready. Returning to base. On the move.
Heading to operational area.
On the scene. Listening.
Ready. Will do. Red.
Listening. Awaiting instructions. Returning to base.
Listening.
Listening. Returning to... Entering vehicle.
Awaiting returning to base.
Awaiting instructions. Can't do that.
Ready. Understood.
Ready.
New orders received.
Awaiting instructions. Task completed.
Listening. Returning to base.
Returning to base.
An emergency has been completed.
On the move. Heading to the operational area. Under fire.
On the move. Listening. Got it.
Listening.
Listening. Will do. Red.
Listening. Will do. Entering danger zone. Got it. Will do.
Listening. Returning to vehicle.
Returning to vehicle. Entering vehicle. Returning to vehicle. Ready.
Ready. Got it. Task completed. Listening. Returning to base.
Wind direction change. East.
Listening. Awaiting instructions.
Awaiting instructions. Returning to vehicle.
On the ready. On. Will do. Ready.
Ready. Got it.
Listening. Returning to base.
Task completed.
Task completed.
New orders received.
Returning to base. Returning to base. On the move. Heading to operational area.
An emergency has been completed.
On the move. On the scene.
Heading to the operational area.
Ready. Got it.
Arrived at destination. Vehicle on the move.
Got it. Listen, will do. Awaiting. Understood.
Task completed.
Heading to operational area. Arrived at... Got it. Task completed. Listening. Returning to base. Returning to base. Ready. Will do. On the move. Awaiting instructions. Arrive. Returning to base. Heading to operational area. On the scene. Listening. Will do. Awaiting instructions. Task completed. Returning to base. Returning to base. Returning to base. On the move. On the seat.
Awaiting instructions. Heading to operational area. On.
Ready. Will do.
On the move. Arrived at...
Ready. Returning to vehicle. Entering vehicle.
Returning to base. On the move. Arrived at destination.
Awaiting instructions.
Heading to operational area. Arrived at destination. Returning to base.
Awaiting instruction. Returning to listening.
Listening. Returning to base.
Ready. Returning to vehicle.
Awaiting in... Got it. Ready. Returning to base.
Heading to the operational area.
Ready. Understood.
On the scene. Awaiting instruction.
Listen. Will do. Ready. Entering vehicle.
Listening. Returning to base.
Task completed. Task completed.
List. Returning to base.
An emergency has been completed.